Joseph here, animator, game designer, comic creator. I make a comic called Slaughter Squad, and it's in demand right now. And we're so close to getting to 5K. So close. If someone were to get this featured perk, I think that would put us over the edge. This is the latest perk that I added. You get the 2 variant covers, you get the prints, probably 3 prints, and then this making of book that I'm working on, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyways, I'm gonna talk shit about Battletoads. So that new Battletoads game came out. So that's what it looks like. For those of you who don't know, Battletoads has been around for a while. The first Battletoads game I played was Battletoads versus Double Dragons. Classic. So this came out when I was a kid. I was like 7 years old or something. Back in 93, 94. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, this was the first Battletoads game I played, and it was pretty cool. But I think my favorite one is the arcade version. Battletoads Arcade was really awesome. Look at that. It's beautiful. I didn't play the original Battletoads of the Nintendo, like the NES Battletoads, until like a few years ago. And that game's great too. It's a pain in the ass though. It's very glitchy. There's friendly fire. You're constantly killing your partner. The turbo tunnel is kind of a pain in the ass. The worst is the tower. That tower level. Yeah, fuck that. Anyways, it's been, I don't know, 10, 20 years since the last Battletoads game, and here's what the new one looks like. Now, let's see, I got some notes here. It doesn't look bad. Some people don't like the style. That's subjective. I'm not really a huge fan of this art style, but I can look past it. It's whatever. The thing that I can't look past is what they did to the Queen. Now that's just ugh, what the hell, man. Like I can understand. Okay, you want to cover up, but they have to. Like they made her just not the opposite of appealing. Like you can make her less sexual and also appealing. Anyways, she's supposed to be a villain. That's sort of like villains are supposed to be sexy. That's the whole point. Anyways, I did some digging, a little bit of digging, not much, but this is the designer behind this. This is probably the reason why the character turned out this way. This is her Twitter profile. Human Pizza Blob. She follows feminist frequency. Yikes. She says, playable characters with body fat and wrinkles, I'm in. And then, what? I don't even know what game that is. Who cares? But then when she got a little upset by this one. I would like to see diverse bodies represented in all games, but not this one. I need this one to stop. You are sending the exact opposite message than you should in every way. What's the problem? What's the problem here? Because the girls are ugly? There's some ugly girls and some hot girls? Does that make her insecure? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, there's not really much more to say about that. The animation itself looks pretty good, actually. Like, it's pretty smooth. There's some nice poses in there. It's fine. It's serviceable. My biggest issue is with the gameplay. It's almost good. It's almost a fun game. But it's a little, it's kind of half baked. It's a little, uh, it's missing a couple things. So it seems like they spent a lot of time on the. There's actually a lot of cutscenes, a lot of like fully animated cutscenes. It's almost like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's kind of cool, but I feel like that detracted from the gameplay. It's almost like an hour of animation. I think something like 40, almost like 40 minutes of animated stuff in there, which is kind of weird because the game is only 3 hours long. So it's like 1/3 of it is cutscenes, and then there's only about an hour of actual like beat 'em up gameplay, and then there's like another hour of mini games and crap. So that's kind of weird. So yeah, and the controls aren't great. So they have they map the morph attack to its own button. But the way it works is you have to hold it down to activate it. If you just tap it, nothing happens. So why didn't you just? Why does that need to be on its own button? And then when you the launcher attack, it doesn't do anything in the air. When you jump up and press the launcher attack, it doesn't do anything. But the morph attack does something in the air. I don't know. Just why don't you put the charging the morph attack onto one of the buttons, and then just put dodge on that button? Like, does that really need its own button? And then the tongue mechanic, it's kind of cool, but it has a lot of potential. But it's kind of rough. The implementation isn't so great. They've mapped. There's basically 3 different types of tongue action. So you press the left trigger to aim, and you press X to grab enemies. You press B to grab tongue rings. And then Y to grab items, collectible stuff, flies. And then you press A to spit while you're aiming. You spit bubblegum and like traps enemies for a second. It's kind of cool, but it's like too many buttons. And it's like really difficult to aim. You press the left analog at the same time to sort of aim at things, but it's like when there's times when there's a lot of enemies on the screen, and then it's just like you're just kind of grabbing whatever. You don't know what you're hitting. And I don't know, is there some way to streamline that, make it a little more elegant? Like maybe you can aim with the right analog and kind of paint targets and then grab things, and then you don't need all these different buttons. I don't know. Just thinking. The other problem is they removed a bunch of mechanics from previous games. So they got rid of dashing, got rid of the dash attack, got rid of grabs and throws. They got rid of weapons. You can't pick up weapons anymore. Yeah, I could live without the weapons, but I feel like the removing dashing and dash attacks and the grabs and throws. Yeah, the dash attacks are like a big part of the game. I don't know why they got rid of it. And it's just fun. And also, you can cover ground, you can move and attack. I don't know. It was a good move. And then the grabs and throws, being able to throw enemies, like really helps with the crowd control. Like, you know, a guy gets the enemies try and loop behind you. They try and flank you all the time. So being able to grab them and throw them back where you want them, like get them into positioning, would really help with the tactical side of things. Something else that's kind of annoying is when you're trying to juggle enemies. It seems like the game is intentionally sending. If you hit a bunch of guys into the air, it'll like throw out all of them except one of the guys you're hitting. So if you're hitting like 3 guys, 2 of them will always fall out, so you won't be able to juggle like one guy, one enemy. And it feels like they've intentionally they've intentionally programmed that in so you can't juggle more than one enemy at a time. That's stupid and annoying. Let's see. Yeah, overall the combo flow isn't that great. It feels like so like you hit a couple enemies. You hit them with your A combo, whatever. You punch, 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 and then maybe you hit the launch button, send them up into the air, and then you can jump up and hit them a couple more times and knock them back down, and then that's pretty much it. You can grab them with your tongue and pull them back in, but you just repeat over and over again the same thing. So it gets pretty repetitive pretty quickly. And then yeah, like if they had added you know, the dash attack and throws, and maybe like a few more moves, could have been less repetitive. They do have some alternate like combo routes, so you can press what is it? Press XXY. It'll do like a slightly different combo, but it's kind of bad. Like what's his name? Is it the guy with the glasses? Is that Zitz? He'll like his arms turn into a giant fish, and then he'll spin around. If you press XXY, but it's like really slow. You get hit. You can get hit out of it really easily. They'll just punch you as you're turning your arms into fish. So most of the time, it's not worth it to do that combo. It just kind of sucks. And that's like kind of the case with all the characters, except for what's his face, Rash, the light green one. His like alternate combo, his head turns into like speakers and does like sound waves. And that one comes out really fast. So that one's actually pretty good, and it hits on both sides, so it's pretty useful. But yeah, the rest of them, yeah, their other combo routes are pretty much useless. So I don't know, make them faster, make them more useful, and then I don't know, make the combos a little like flow together and give you more options, more things you can do, and that would have been more fun, less tedious. Yeah, so that's about it. That's all I gotta say. That's all the notes I have for Battletoads. Yeah, I've been I've been a fan of Battletoads for a long time. I was pretty excited when they announced it. Then my excitement kind of got deflated when I saw the the new art direction. Like, yeah, I don't know. Not excited. Not as excited now. Then I saw the gameplay, and I was like, okay, the animation looks all right. It looks like a Battletoads game, kind of. Like they're punching things. I just wonder, how is the gameplay? And then, yeah, seeing the Dark Queen was a bit of a turn off as well. It's like, what is this? What did they do to the Dark Queen? But overall, this game is just kind of mediocre. Mediocre! That is my verdict for Battletoads. Mediocre! It could be, it was almost there. It's a few minor quibbles, really. It's not the worst game. It's not completely terrible. It's just kind of meh. It's kind of forgettable. And I don't know. It's just if this is gonna get a sequel. Kind of doubt it. I haven't checked the sales figures, but I don't know. The reaction has been mostly negative or dismissive. Aside from a few shills who are like, "Oh, this game's great." Yeah, most people either like are outright hating it, or they're just kind of like, it's okay. I don't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's only $20, but it's like, it's not worth it. It's maybe 3 hours, and then I had no interest in playing it again. Like, uh, yeah, it's mediocre. I would recommend getting Streets of Rage 4 over this if you haven't already. Streets of Rage is pretty solid. Um, if you could somehow get Scott Pilgrim, the Scott Pilgrim game, that was a really good beat 'em up. One of my favorites. It's hard to find though. It's only on PS3 and I think Xbox 360 now. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Check out Solar Squad if you haven't already, and I'll catch y'all on the flippity. Peace.